Hola, mi nombre es Nicolás Guzmán. El propósito de esta sección es compartir contigo conceptos que permitirán que tu crecimiento en este negocio no solo sea consistente, sino también tengas una base sólida. No seré yo quien comparta estos conceptos, sino el fundador y primer distribuidor de Herbalife, el señor Mark Hughes. ¿Quién mejor que él, que atravesó los mismos retos y desafíos que todos tenemos cuando comenzamos? Te sugiero que regularmente regreses a esta sección, puesto que los conceptos que Mark compartirá contigo tienen la misma validez hoy que en el pasado. Por tanto, tendrá la misma validez en el futuro. Por mi parte, te deseo el mejor de los éxitos en tu negocio.
You can build your businesses a couple of ways. And you can make money some different ways in Herbalife, but at some point, building it wrong is going to catch up with you. And the only thing that's going to happen is that because of the way that Herbalife is, and because there's more good than there ever is the bad, there's only one thing that ends up happening. It catches up to you and it forces you out the door. It's the only thing that can possibly happen. And so what I mean by that is I know some of you are from some other countries, and then you're in some countries that are in a pretty fast go mode right at the moment. And sometimes you need to start thinking a little bit differently. And here's the way I'd like you to think. Every time you're making a decision, every time you're going to do something in your business, I'd like you to think, is this what Mark Hughes would be doing? Is that what Mark would do? Is that what he would do?
I want to cover a couple of rules and regulations on how we're going to play the Herbalife game as we go forward so that we keep the integrity to the company and so on. And it's particularly important that this group understands it. For some of you, it'll seem a little mundane, but you know what? It's real interesting. Even when I meet with the president's team and go over some of this stuff, they still got questions on some of these particular rules and stuff. It's very important that you guys understand some of the rules that glue the company together, because you're the ones that are going to have to teach it. You're the ones that are going to have to communicate it. You're the ones that are going to have to get it to someone else who's going to speak it in another language. And you've got to be able to operate these businesses far beyond what I'm doing from the top, okay?
Out of line buying, okay? Where someone comes to you and they want to buy it from you because it's a little bit easier. There's a lot of tendency sometimes to want to go ahead and sell it to the person, okay? Maybe their supervisor dropped out and stuff like that, and they come to you and they're begging you, geez, I'd like to buy some of your inventory. Remember, when you're selling it to that person, guess who you're stealing money from? Their first upline, their second upline, and their third line, and everybody upline that's in the 2, 4, 6 check. Stealing is what it's called. Stealing. I want you to think about that. And we're not going to allow for stealing. Not going to allow it. See, these rules and regulations that we've got in our company, in our plan, are to protect every single person in this room, no matter who you are. To the lowest little housewife in the company, to the auto mechanic that just gets started, that's got grease stains all over his cans, to the top person in the company with his Brooks Brothers suit. We don't care. Ethics are ethics.
Every single month. There's no reason for it to take this spike and go right down if everybody's retailing the product. You want to load people up? Great, but I promise you, you load lots of distributors up with lots of product, and the minute any recruiting starts slowing up at all, it's going to fall down, and you're going to get refunds and buybacks because people are unsatisfied with what's happening, and you're not going to build yourself a great reputation. One of the things that you want to do, okay, even though it might be a little bit slower process, is build a good reputation for you and your organization
and this company, because we're going to be here, and some of your kids someday are going to be working this business, and you want them to have a business that they can be proud of when they walk down the street, okay? See, that's something you need to know about Herbalife. Because you know what? There's a lot of other companies out there that they'd say, you know what? So what, it hurt a few people. Look at all the business we're getting in. I don't care if it's the loneliest little housewife that got into the company to the top president's team member in this organization. And we have gotten rid of some of the top people in our company in the past. And it don't make no difference. Principles are principles. And this company is going to sparkle, and it's going to shine, and we're going to be respectable, and we're going to do it the Herbalife way. And so when you think about these things, I want you to think about, would Mark Hughes be making this decision? Because let me tell you something, the decisions you're going to make are not only going to be the Mark Hughes consequences, number one, but number two, doing it the Mark Hughes way for year after year after year after year. And that's what you want, gang. It may be a little more difficult in the beginning. It may take you a little longer to get to where you want to go. But let me tell you something. In the end, you will win. You will win. Just as important, we will win. And that's got to do with all the integrity of the company. Stay loyal to all the Herbalife rules. They're not easy sometimes, but you got to do it. You got to do it for you. You got to do it for your kids, and you got to do it for the company. Because if you don't stay within some of the Herbalife rules over the years to come, we won't be able to continue to provide these products to every single person in the world. Some of you sometimes think, well, geez, I'll break this little rule, and I'll do this, and I'll ship some products over to, some different countries where it doesn't make any difference. Hey, it does make some difference. Because if Herbalife's not around, none of us are around. So we got to make certain that each and every day we protect the rules and regulations of all of our distributorships, because the company is the goose that laid the golden egg. And trust me, I have never seen a goose put out so many golden eggs in my entire life as we've been putting out. Ethics are ethics, okay? And we got to not only protect us, okay, but you got to protect everybody in the room, because as a unit, we can become 5 billion. As a unit, we can get to 10 billion. As a unit, we can get to 15 billion. And we'll be the kind of companies that we want our children to respect and their children to respect. So when you move and become a leader in the company, you got to move as a leader with integrity in all parts of the plan, even if it's a little bit slower, because the integrity of what we're doing in Herbalife has not only paid off now, but what it's going to pay off for us in the years to become is going to be nothing short of mind-boggling. Mind-boggling.